Alright class, this is Coach Williams again. We're going to look at 5.2 practice. On the first 6 problems, we're just doing our regular substitution that we learned in our notes from yesterday. And it should be pretty simple in the first 3. You actually have y isolated and you have x isolated. You could use either one of these to plug into the other equation. Let's take this y and plug it in here to the second equation. So just to set it up, I'm not going to work it, but to set it up, you'll have x equals, and instead of y, we're going to put 10 minus 2x, and then we're going to minus 4. And then we'll solve this one for x, find the value, plug it back in, and solve for y. So that's how you'd start on number 1. Number 2, you have x already isolated here, or x isolated there. Number 3, you've got y isolated, so you can take all this and plug it in to the other equation where you see the y term. Number 4 is really simple because you've just got to solve for y here, and it's going to go ahead and give you a value. You're not even having to substitute in an expression. You're just going to substitute in the value for y into the second equation once you find it and solve for x. 5 and 6 are going to be a little more difficult because they don't give you an expression in terms of y or x. They don't isolate either one of the variables. So you just pick one. Again, you have the freedom to pick x or y. In this one, you have y here if you want to choose that one to solve for. Again, we're looking for a variable with a coefficient of 1 if we can. That way our expression doesn't have any unneeded fractions to deal with. So if you isolated the x, you just minus the y from both sides. You'd have x equals negative 2 minus y. That would be your expression if you solve for x on the first equation. And then you can plug it into the second one, solve. 6, you do the same thing. Number 7, this is going to be a situation where you've got to describe an error, and there is something wrong. I will give you a hint. It is in the process of step 1. I don't believe they completed the process like they should have. I'll just give you that little hint. So what they substituted in for step 2 as x is not the correct thing. So maybe that'll help you find out what happened. I think they needed to do one more step in the step 1 process. They needed to complete one more thing, and you just kind of have to investigate that, see what you can find. On to the back. When you're looking at word problems, look for totals. 2 things have to add up to be a total in almost every word problem that we're dealing with when we have these substitution problems. We have 36 questions. Well, how many questions do we have of each? I don't know, but we know that we've got essay questions and we have multiple choice questions. All right, so I can represent it by M and E if you want to, or just X and Y, and know that one's X, the multiple choice is X, and the essays are Y. I don't know, it doesn't matter, but we know that if we add multiple choice and essays together, we're going to have 36 questions. So we're going to have X plus Y equals 36. That's one of your equations, and that should be the easy one on both 8 and 9. We've got 73 animals, 73 dogs and cats. Again, if you want to use X and Y, then go for it. Otherwise, use D and C. Dogs plus cats equals 73. Or X plus Y equals 73. And then you can go back and do the rest of the equation, or the second equation here, the rest of the word problem. You've got 100 points, the 2 points for the multiple choice, 6 points for the essay questions. And so we know that we're going to have, if we said multiple choice were X and essays were Y, then we would have 2X plus 6Y equals a total of 100 points. And there's your 2 equations. On number 9, I'm going to let you figure this one out, but it starts out with cats. The number of cats is, and is means equals. So C is going to equal, and then you have to figure out what this is going to be. 10 more than twice the number of dogs. See if you can figure out how to do that. Then you'll have your second equation. And I hope this helps you get started on your practice. You guys have a great day.